I used to panic every time I put gas in my tank or every time I bought groceries. Yes, I was having a blast living out of my Subaru and traveling, but I was putting it all on credit card and it was completely stressing me out. I would go to sleep with anxiety, I would wake up with anxiety, and then I figured out 9 ways that I could sustainably make money while I was traveling. And now I'm waking up to bank deposits instead of waking up to anxiety. So today I want to share exactly the strategies that work for me, the 9 things that I actually do, and how you could do it too. This is for you if you're stressing about money, but it's also for you if you're just already on the road traveling and having a great time, and you could use a few extra ways to get some money coming in on the side. And I also want you to stick around to the end because I'm going to share with you the 3 mindset shifts that completely changed my financial reality. And no, the mindset shifts are not just a bunch of cool affirmations about money. That stuff never worked for me, and I'm going to tell you why, and I'm going to tell you what will work for you instead. So if you watch every week, you usually see me cooking on the tailgate, cold plunging, or out exploring in the desert. But this week, I'm pet sitting, which makes it the perfect opportunity to talk about making money while you're on the road. So I want to paint a picture for you. Imagine that you're waking up in your car or your van or in another country, and you're sipping coffee, hanging out in the mountains, and you get a notification that you just got paid. And I'm not talking about $5. I'm talking about hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars. That is now my current reality, and it wasn't always this way. And I turned it around very quickly, and I'm going to tell you how. But when I first hit the road, I had no idea how I was going to make money. I just knew I wanted freedom. And as I mentioned earlier, I've been living on the road in my Subaru for 3 years. Even though I was having a ton of fun, and I was living off of credit cards. So eventually I found myself in a very dark night of the soul. This was the darkest I had felt in a long time. And I started questioning whether I wanted to live anymore simply because I was so overwhelmed by the amount of debt. And I noticed that I was spending days scrolling my phone just mindlessly because I was so overwhelmed. I was tuning out from my reality and I didn't want to face it. I came to sort of like a come to Jesus moment, or just a moment of radical self-honesty where I said, something's got to change. I'm literally either going to end my life because I'm so overwhelmed with this anxiety and this debt, or I'm going to do something about it. So I did something about it. And everything I'm going to share with you in this video is truly life-changing because it changed my life. It got me out of debt. It got me to building savings, and it made me want to keep living. It also changed my relationship with myself. And that's why the mindset things I'm going to share with you are so important, because it's not just about do this to make money. None of that's going to work. I had paid coaches like $20,000 to teach me all these strategies, but none of them worked because I was blocking stuff internally around money. So that's why both the things are so important. One of the things that really helped me early on was a quick mindset shift. So instead of thinking I need to make money because that's illegal, I started thinking I need to receive money. So how can I set up multiple channels to receive money into my life? How can I just set up systems and structures so that money can just be flowing into me from a lot of different directions? I'm less attached to the outcome and putting so much pressure in one place, and that there are a variety of ways that I can receive money. So I'm going to share the 9 income streams that I currently use or have used in the past. These are not just cute ideas or fun things I found on the internet. These are actually things I've used that actually work for me. I also put these steps into a really simple guide so you can skip the trial and error, and I'll tell you more about that at the end. So the first one is writing and editing. It's definitely something that you can do remotely. If you have any writing skills, any proofreading skills, because some of the writing I do is around visiting areas and small towns or trails. I will write for local publications that are specific to their region and talk about the things that I'm experiencing on the road from an insider perspective. All right, Rover pet sitting, which leads me to where you see me today. Right now, I'm pet sitting for a sweet dog. It's really, really rewarding because it allows you to really help people. I've pet sit for people whose dogs or cats needed care because they were going to surgery or they were going to go somewhere to support a family member who was having a health issue, or sometimes people are just out having their own adventures and you get to help them do that. The first couple months that I signed up for Rover, I made several $1,000s very, very quickly. There is a link in the description if you want to set up your own Rover profile. I think it will give you $20 off pet care, which is also great if you're out traveling around and maybe you're going to go into a national park and you can't bring your dog. If you use that link, you could get $20 off to book pet care where you would take your pet to someone else's home. The third way that I receive income while on the road is through an affiliate link. Some of these affiliate links don't necessarily pay me cash money into my bank account, but instead they provide products that I would already use. A minute ago, I mentioned mentioned Rover. That is one of them. I use the Leap to set up my products and sell them digitally. I'll mention more about that in a little bit. Airbnb experiences, all the affiliate links I have are actually for products I actually use. So whether they're sending money into my bank account or whether they're just giving me extra months of their services, part of it's about thinking differently about money, that it's not always about money coming in. Sometimes it's other ways we can receive income that doesn't always look like dollars, right? Sometimes it just looks like an exchange. Some of this is a reframe in regards to receiving. Trusted house sitters, you don't really make money on trusted house sitters, but you get an exchange. So if you're traveling in another country or even in the country that you currently live in, you might just want like a break. If you're living out of your vehicle or van, you help someone out by taking care of their garden or their pets while they're traveling. And in exchange, you get a gorgeous place to stay with hot tubs and beautiful views, a place to do some laundry and just kind of take a break and stretch out while you've been on the road. It's always great to have variety and shake things up. All right, the fourth way that I receive income that has really surprised me how much I enjoyed it is house cleaning. I actually was very specific about who I would clean for, really nice high-end vacation rentals or residential cleans. Base camped in an area that was gorgeous in a mountain town. You could do it in a desert town, just somewhere that you want to hang out for several months, and then you create your own schedule and you set up your own rates. You can get easy, quick money. Lots of times people even paid me before I did the clean. One thing I also love about cleaning, typically people don't want you to clean until maybe 11 in the morning and then you're done by like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So I love the opportunity to get out for the sunrise, go play, go do some fun stuff, then go clean for several hours and then be done for the day and go play some more. And again, it's actually very, very good money. You just put your headphones on, some music, stay in your own zone. Hosting Airbnb experiences is the fifth way that I have earned money on the road. And you have a skill or knowledge or a hobby, you can turn it into a unique experience for people to pay for. When people book lodging, they will get offered the opportunity to book with me. My particular experience is a one-on-one empowerment hike and coaching experience, but I have seen a wide variety of things offered in Airbnb experiences, cooking experiences, photography experiences, pottery experiences. Every single time I lead an experience, I can't believe how lucky I am that I get paid to be on hikes and help people with their lives. You can get paid to do what you love. The sixth way is seasonal work. I worked in a national park and it was an incredible experience. I lived for free in a 2-bedroom house all to myself and I got paid while I was living in that house. Woke up every day to the most beautiful views and I did really impactful work supporting public lands. I definitely recommend it. I wasn't working for the national park. I was working for a nonprofit. It's a great way to get out and see new areas. These last three are kind of grouped together. And before I get into them, I want to say you don't need a website to do any of these things. Selling digital products, selling mini courses or guides, or offering coaching. What is something that you have learned that you could share with others? It could be recipe books. It could be instructions on gardening, a how-to and how to change your own oil in your car. It could be what I offer, which is how to make money on the road while you're traveling full time. What is something that you have figured out that maybe someone else hasn't yet figured out? You only need to be 10% ahead of the person who wants to be able to do this thing. Brainstorm 3 or 4 ideas of things that you know how to do, that you could teach in a guide or a resource. And that is a digital product. It's something that you sell online and people can download and use it to change their, improve their lives in some way. And then a mini course is very similar. It's just a little more of an extension. So instead of it just being like a simple PDF that someone downloads, maybe there's a course component. So maybe you record some videos that are linked into the product. These are all things I have done in my Road Life Riches guide. I've added video and audio components to it to add more detail, more explanation, add more value to it. And then the last thing would be mentoring and coaching. And all of these things are related. They are looking at something that you have learned in life, something you have overcome, something that you have navigated through, and offering your gifts and talents to help other people. For me, I offer breakthrough coaching. I help people if they're feeling stuck in life, get through fear and limiting beliefs and to really step into the life that they want. And that's very related to the digital products and courses that I offer. And again, you don't need a website set up for all of this. I have it all set up through the Leap. All the links for these things, by the way, are all in the description of this video. All you need to do is set up a store and then link your digital products or your courses or a link to your calendar to book a coaching call with you inside that store. I go much deeper into this. this in the guide. Also, by the way, if you did want to book a one-on-one coaching call with me, I'll have a link for that also in the description, especially if you want help brainstorming ideas of what you could set up for a digital product or guide or coaching. I'd be happy to brainstorm that with you. Learning to own your value is a big part of this. It's a big part of how you began to actually receive money and change your financial situation, is owning the value that you have in the world. That leads me to the mindset shifts that I want you to adopt. Once you change your relationship with yourself, you become the person who is ready to receive large amounts of money. Until you really shift some of these blocks and limiting beliefs, old stories you have about money, you're not going to see it come in for you. At least that was my experience. Just going to run through these very briefly. If you want a deeper dive, they're in the Road Life Riches guide. It's to acknowledge what you have to offer. Acknowledge that you are the solution to someone else's problem, and that hiding your gifts doesn't just hurt you, it also keeps someone else from getting the help they need. Shine your light out into the world. The second is to look at your relationship with yourself. Lots of times we hear in the money world about your relationship with money, but honestly, that's just a mirror of your relationship with yourself. Is there a part of you who believes that keeping you broke is keeping you safe? Is there a protector part of you who would choose this familiar hell over a familiar heaven every time? What does it mean if you start to make more money? Does it mean you have to show up in a way that you're not ready to show up consistently? Maybe in your family, people who had money were considered greedy or selfish, and you're afraid of being rejected by your family if you make more money. Ultimately, the invitation here is to do some internal family systems work and to really look at your relationship with yourself in order to break through the blocks to be able to set up to receive more money. Lastly is to stop waiting for money until you feel happy. Being in the energy of joy and gratitude right now is how you attract more abundance, and acknowledging that abundance already exists. You're not waiting to be abundant. You're not calling in abundance. You already are an abundant being right now just by existing. You have access to clean air, to fresh water, and if you have access to sunlight to warm up your body every day, like there are so many opportunities to look for abundance in our lives right now. I want you to commit to noticing and just naming out loud in the moment where wealth is already showing up in your life. When you get a free campsite, when you get a kind gesture, when you find a penny on the ground somewhere, be in the energy of acknowledging when you're already receiving wealth. Money alone is not going to give you the love, the safety, and the belonging that you crave. Feel the abundance that you already have right now. Okay, I know this was a lot of information. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, so that's why I've put all of this into a guide, step by step, exactly what I did. It's called Road Life Riches. I've linked it in the description below. If you're watching this when the video goes live, the first 50 people get that early bird pricing. Link again is in the description. I know it's going to support you. And if you're feeling inspired by what you've heard here, drop into the comments and share with me what's the income stream that you're going to try out. If you are ready to create exactly the life you want, please tap subscribe so you never miss an episode. I'm sending you so much love today. Remember to always watch the sunrise.
Don't give up, just hold on tight.